Rise and grind, multifamily friends, welcome to the Morning Perks Podcast, where bold conversations are brewed fresh and every episode is rich, energizing, and guaranteed to wake up your commute. Just like your favorite cup of coffee, we keep it smooth, strong, and full of flavor, serving up insights you'll want to sip on long after the last drop. This podcast is the perfect blend for getting to know the people behind the progress at the Greater Charlotte Apartment Association. From industry trailblazers to rising stars, we're spilling the beans on the stories, experiences, and ideas of those making a real impact in the multifamily world. So grab your mug, hit download, and press play on your way to work. Whether you're stuck in traffic or cruising through your morning routine, Morning Perks is your daily dose of connection, inspiration, and industry buzz. No extra cream required. Let's go. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Perks Podcast. I'm your podcast host, Bill Clements. We have a brand new podcast sponsor. Our sponsor is Valet Living. Valet Living is the nation's leading resident experience and property services provider for the multifamily industry. Valet Living partners with operators to reduce operational pressure, improve resident satisfaction, and deliver consistent day-to-day service across communities, while also providing the regulatory expertise needed to navigate an increasingly complex operational environment. At the core of their service is doorstep waste and recycling collection, supported by a growing suite of property services designed to scale with client needs. Valet Living, it starts at the door. We appreciate them so much. Mary Hood, Regional Property Manager for RPM Living. You have your caps.
I do.
And you are currently in the Leadership Lyceum program.
I am.
Graduating later this year.
Yes.
Walking across the Bravo stage, as it were, to be official. That's going to be fantastic. Mr. Pat Finn, you are managing attorney for Brownlee, Whitlow, and Prate. You're in charge of the Charlotte office. That's a handful right there.
It is.
You are general counsel for the GCAA, and you are represented on our board of directors. And you are co-chair of the Government Affairs Committee for the GCAA Leadership Lyceum graduate. And you, the thing that I love about you, and you've done this quite a bit, the local, the state, and the national level, I believe you have led quite a few lobbying groups.
I have, yes. I also have some exclusive promotion news for you.
Okay, perfect.
Hasn't been announced on social media as of taping, but I made partner.
You're a partner.
Woo!
Yep.
That's awesome.
I think it'll be announced
fantastic.
when this gets released, and I got approval to tell you guys first.
Man, that is fantastic.
Congrats.
We got scoop on the podcast.
I love it.
Does the family know yet?
They do.
The family's got to be excited.
Mm-hmm.
The kids don't really know what that means.
No, my daughter's 6.5. She doesn't
No.
know much of anything, but
No.
she's excited that we're excited.
But you should teach her to walk around school and say, my dad's a partner. I think sir,
They will.
congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
phenomenal.
Thank you.
That is
Amazing.
fantastic. All right. You got any news for us?
No, I want to be a partner.
Yeah.
We all want to be partner.
I know.
Pat Finn, you guys came in here today, and what I want to talk about at length, we just did it a week ago.
Yeah.
We just had the AANC conference, the state conference. And a lot of people say to me, they've not been to conferences, and they're like, what's a conference? What's a conference like? How do I get involved in a conference? How can I go to a conference? And so I'd like to have a conversation with you guys so that we can take a look back at how conference was, what your experience was at conference, but also for listeners and for viewers that have never attended a conference in multifamily, or, not necessarily in multifamily, but let's just say for the purposes of this, they've never attended a conference in multifamily and they want to get involved, and how that kind of looks. So real quick, let's start with Mary. First impressions from conference? That wasn't your first AANC conference.
It was my first AANC.
Your very first.
My very first AANC.
This is perfect.
I know. I've been to many of the company level conferences, but never AANC. So that was really fun.
What did you think?
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, for me, after being in the business for so long, getting
Yes.
to see all these colleagues and vendors and, sponsors that I've known for years was really neat. But also Lobby Day was very cool
Yeah.
and definitely outside of what I thought I would be doing, but it was great experience.
You think going in what it's going to be like. And I think when you hit the conference floor and you begin to see people that you know, and you begin to see all the things that are set up to happen, It can get a little overwhelming pretty quickly. Not your first AANC conference.
It was actually. I've done
You guys are both.
I know.
Yeah, I've done NAA's Advocate several years in a row, and I've done local lobbying with GCAA, but it was my first AANC.
So did you have an immediate takeaway?
The energy, like walking in the front door of the convention center. I don't know if you were the one that was in there, but there were a group of people in there that literally
Like
shout.
cheerleaders.
Cheering. Yeah. Cheering. Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. Like I knew
Same.
they would be energetic, but like literally second one, day one, moment one, before I even checked in, someone's cheering me on.
Came in dancing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you say that. That was one of the first one of the new things this year for the conference was we've always had greetings to some level, but the committee really wanted, I'm not on the committee, but I know that this took place. The committee really wanted energy for folks coming in the door to really feel welcome. We had music, right? And cheerleaders, volunteers that would just cheer people on. I think maybe both of you, there was a gentleman out of the triad who was yelling, just shouting when people came into the door. And I mean, it was great, right? Because I feel like, and you tell me if I'm wrong, when you came into the doors, because I could see it on people's faces, it felt like it was just starting as you're walking in the door. Like it's brand new, as opposed to, some things you walk in on and they're already happening. This was sort of like an intro to every single person that it's starting with you coming in the door.
Well, I think it sets the tone.
Yeah.
It sets the tone for high energy.
It really does.
It was like, I don't know that there was a thing going on in that moment, which made it all the more exciting that they were hyped that I was there just to check in.
I'm curious because there were so many things that went on. I'm not going to name them because I want you to pick the organic one that you like the most. Of all the different things, sessions, stuff, all the different components that was going on, which one was there one that blew your mind or really surprised you?
I think for me, the newest component was the lobby day, just because I hadn't done it. I've internshiped in DC in college. And so I kind of had the impression of what it would be to go to the Capitol, that piece of it. But as far as the whole process, so that was new.
Yeah.
And then I felt Lisa's, the seminar was really good because it's stuff we all know, but it was just another new take on it. So that was good.
What about for you?
I mean, selfishly, it was a couple that I was involved in. I got to do the opening intro for the first day speaker, and I have been doing more public speaking, and my wife does too. So we've been talking to my daughter. She's in first grade about public speaking, and I don't think she knows what that means.
Right.
So during the intro in front of 750 people, I took my phone out and took a selfie.
That's right, you did. That was great.
It was very cool.
Yeah.
And then immediately after, the speaker had a very energetic presentation, and I got to break a board on stage.
Yep.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
I forgot about the board. No, the board was awesome.
I still have that
was
broken
awesome.
board.
I did too.
I don't know what to do with it.
That was awesome. I have it too.
Did you write on it?
I did.
Okay. Do you have yours?
Yeah.
You going to keep it forever?
Right now it's in my office. We'll see.
Well, that was new this year as well, because they try to have a little bit different flavor every year for the opening and the closing. So do you feel like you know what you wrote on your board? I know what I wrote on my board. Did you just go through the motion in that moment because there's so many people doing it in the room? Or do you feel like you were present for what you wrote and it meant something to you uniquely that you had some kind of takeaway from?
That's a good question. I think I will admit at the beginning, I was just going through the motions.
Sure.
I think being on the stage, and I didn't go first, so several people went before me. It started becoming more energetic, and I think by the end, it was meaningful.
I think you should keep the boards forever. I'm going to keep my board. I'm going to keep it.
We're going to do it at our budget camp with our teams. Yeah.
Stealing is the greatest form of flattering.
We took the old boards.
Yes, I think it's phenomenal.
I did talk to one of the friends at the conference, and I think he said he wrote something about decluttering on his board and didn't know whether he should keep the board or not, given that he was trying to declutter his life.
Oh.
And he didn't know what to do.
Good point.
Yeah.
That is funny.
You got to toss the board.
I mean,
take a picture.
Yeah, that's what he was struggling with afterwards when he realized he was holding the broken board that said declutter my life.
Take a picture, toss. You got to do it. Tell the truth. Were you nervous a little bit being in front of that number of people?
Yes. But I, throughout my career, have found a way that that anxiety, I've found a way to turn it into excited energy. I did that early on learning about trial practice. Yeah. So even now coming in today, I felt nervous, but my body is able to tell me it's excited energy from 15 years worth of trying.
Sure. I think that's phenomenal.
You share that in
I know,
a
right?
seminar. Yeah.
You were there for Lobby Day on Wednesday?
Mhm.
Guess what?
What?
I've been to that conference 5 years, and I've done advocacy at the national level in DC in March. I've never been to Lobby Day on Wednesday.
You're probably doing the trade show.
No, trade show was on Tuesday afternoon.
That's right.
I do the after party on Tuesday night, and it's just so late when I
so
get
early.
in.
Yeah.
I don't want to play on Wednesday. It's kind of selfish. I don't want to play. Every year I say I'm going to go, and I didn't go. So tell me a little bit more about that. Like, was it what you thought it was going to be like? Like aesthetically, what did it feel like going into the Capitol and doing the thing?
I think it was. I think just because having had some exposure to that previously, that piece felt like what I expected. I think for my group, a lot of us were newbies. So I think we just didn't know if we were qualified to go in.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to my group, I'm like, hey, these people work for you.
Right.
You know, so they're just people, they work for you.
Right.
So we're going to go in there and we're just going to talk. And
Right.
so I think what set the tone for us is the very first representative we spoke to, we just had a conversation and about fraud. And then he got talking about how he had rental property and how they didn't pay. And so he bought into it. So it was really easy to engage. And after that, we were like, we got this.
Oh, sure.
So it was
yeah.
fun. And then once we left and had caffeine in us, then we were like, maybe we'll do this again next year. This was fun. So,
It really is fun.
yeah.
It's a little different. So, when you have the owner operator, the management side of the industry, and then the supplier side, it's sort of a given on the supplier side that we're going to be at conferences and that we're going to be at events because, we're wanting to rub elbows with, engage with owner operators, right? Who are ultimately our clients. So we really typically don't have a difficult time getting leadership to buy into the time and the effort and the money that it costs to attend a conference. So I think you and I could agree it's sort of baked into what we do for a living. But at the owner operator side, you've got to convince leadership that you can be away, right? The time away from the day-to-day job to go attend a conference, and then the cost, because the costs can be medium to substantial depending. You've been in the industry a long time. How do you get to that point? How do you engage leadership and get the buy-in to create the value so they'll let you take the time to go?
I think this year, as an example, was very easy. And I think because as soon as I asked, the response was, you're actively engaged in the local apartment association. So yes, you absolutely should
That's
go.
perfect.
So I think if you want to show that you want to go to the conferences, which people perceive as the fun stuff, you have to do the other stuff. You have to be involved and, give your time and be actively engaged, get others to participate. And then it was easy. It wasn't really an ask. And then I think afterwards, bringing back what you learned. So as soon as I got back on my updates to my clients, I'm sharing about going to Lobby Day, about what we discussed with the tax repercussions and the bills that are coming out, and how we were there lobbying for that. So I think it adds value.
It does. And, there are a lot of things that go on at a conference. You've got educational components, right? And you've got some mildly more entertainment, components of it. You could say the opening session, it was about empowerment. It's not the same as the breakout sessions. And then, of course, and suppliers are heavily involved, you've got entertainment situations that typically happen in the evening. So you can't go back to your employer and be like, oh, I went to a bunch of parties and I had a great time. You have to bring some value back to your leadership so that, one, they'll feel good about the time that you were gone. They'll feel good about the money they spent, and that ideally you get to do it again.
Yeah. And I think when I actually asked for feedback about the question about, why would you let us go?
Sure.
And I think a lot of the feedback is because if you have engaged employees, they're more happy. You retain them. And then we also have networking, and we build our bench strength, with engaging with people. We build our supplier relationships. So, I mean, it definitely adds value. This business is all about people.
It does. And at the state level conference, one of the things that I think is the biggest value add is that it's set up in the convention center, and everybody sort of stays either at the adjacent hotel or the couple of hotels close by. And conveniently, it's just enough of a walk away that most people stay. So you've got all the attendees engaged on the conference floor on 2 levels, and there's plenty of space to do work and catch up. And the beauty of that is that you have almost complete, unfettered access to all of your peers where you can have 2 and 3 and 15-minute conversations at will on the trade show floor or on the conference floor, and you can catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of value in that. There's a lot of these people you don't get to see on the daily because they're at work and you're at work in your place and you can't get to them.
I heard one person describe these advocacy conferences as important because like the suppliers and the owner operators have a singular combined goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about this at the Leadership Lyceum class the other day. So it feels like we're teammates, like not that we're antagonistic to each other in normal life, but we're teammates. So we're hanging out with the common goal of advocating on behalf of the industry, and we're hanging out as teammates, and we just talk because we're hanging out in between meetings.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm there for a business pitch. I'm just hanging out with one of my literal team members for lobbying.
No, I totally agree. I know from the supplier side, I mean, you can have competitors, on really you're competing at conference for the attention of, of potential clients, customers. But even at that level, you sort of just forget in the moment that you're competitors on the street. When you're there at conference, you're peers and you're sharing time, you're building experiences. I don't think anybody walks around going, I'm RPM, I'm Asset Living, I'm Graystar. It doesn't even come up.
Yeah.
It's on your name tag. So what? You already know who works where. That's really not what you're trying to engage about while you're there.
And I think most of us that have been doing this long enough understand that you can be competitive without being a competitor, and you can still be collegial. You still will ask the questions. And I don't know how many colleagues I have that from other companies that I've known throughout the years. And I'm like, hey, are you having this problem with X, Y, and Z? Or what are you finding as a good solution? That's why like you said, we're all there to achieve the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, same thing. I mean, I'm at conference and, you are, have been, would be, could be a customer of mine. I mean, we engaged at conference, right? Mary Hood, we had a whole conversation. It doesn't come up.
No.
The actual work doesn't come up.
Mm-mm.
We just catch up and we continue to define a relationship based on, common industry and friendships and presence. I love that about conference.
I think so too. And then the sessions are great because even those are singular goals where everyone in the room might be competitors, might be customers of each other, clients.
Yeah.
Like I taught one of the legal updates with Jared Schmidt, and there were other attorneys in the room. There were a variety of suppliers in the room. There were owner operators in the room.
You did well.
And the goal is, yes, thank you. And the goal is that, from our speaking to teach about legal updates, and the people in the room have a collective interest to learn about legal updates. And no one's, competing with each other in that moment as much as we're all trying to learn.
That's right.
And then one session, I think what might have been my favorite, the game show for the maintenance issues. I think he used Slido or something, but that was very cool, trying to click in the answers and trying to win. And I didn't win. But
you didn't win?
No. It was fun though.
You got partner this week. What else do you got?
You won. You won.
You got a phenomenal headshot.
Yes, I wore the same suit.
Yes, at conference. You got partner within 2 weeks of conference, and you're wanting to win the maintenance contest.
I mean,
it doesn't seem fair.
Got to go for the trifecta.
Yeah. All right. So I want to talk for a minute about the mechanics of stepping out of your day-to-day role, you stepping out of your job, stepping away from your family, and what you do on the daily. And then, you hop in the car and you go to conference, or you hop on a plane and you go to NAA. What is something that you do to prepare when you're changing hats and you're heading off to conference? Is there something that you do just before?
I mean, mine's more logistics. I just try to make sure that my calls are rearranged, that my team has what they need ahead of time, that I can clear off as much as I can before. I mean, realistically, before you go, you're going to be putting in the hours ahead of time to get prepared. Yeah. And then when you get back, you're going to be putting in the time to, to make up for the time away. But for me, I find value in that. So that's how I would prepare for it, to get kind of caught up. Just like when you do before you go on vacation.
Oh yeah, the same. How about you?
I think the same. I mean, depending on what I'm doing, I might think about, if I'm wearing a loud suit or not a loud suit, but
yeah, the clothing is always the issue.
Yeah.
Clothing's an issue.
And then if I'm flying versus driving, if I'm driving like AANC, I brought several suits just in
what
case.
to pack,
In AA, I've got to make sure like one suit can make several days.
I got one that you two didn't say. I saw the question, what do you do to prepare for conference? Sleep.
That's true.
Because you're not going to get any there.
That is true. Yeah. That is true.
You really aren't going to get any rest. If you're going to a conference to sleep in the hotel room, that's kind of defeating the purpose. It's to be out and about and to engage and to learn.
Absolutely.
The first night, I was doing the opening remarks and I just thought I was going to sleep through my alarm. And so I woke up about every hour
You
worried
get
I'd slept through
nervous
my
that you're
alarm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was early and, it was great, but I had a lot of caffeine that day.
Do you, interesting that you brought that up. Do you feel, there's so many people. I mean, you could argue that 750 to 800 people is or isn't a lot, but it's a lot in that small space. There are people everywhere.
Sure.
Does that bring any anxiety that you're around that much interaction, that much activity?
No, I love it.
Are you an extrovert?
In situationally,
Mm.
but going into that, that's what it's going to be.
Yep.
I just love because I think I've been doing this so long that
Yes.
when you know people, it's exciting to see who
Mhm.
you're going to turn around and see.
Oh, yeah.
Even at the trade show, I saw somebody that I worked with, I think 20 years ago that
Mhm.
popped up out of the blue. So, I think that's the part I like about it.
Anxiety for you?
I mean, it depends. I think, there's a nervous sort of energy for, am I going to do well or not?
Mm-hmm.
I think, I've been a litigator for my whole career.
Mhm.
And so at some point, I'm focused on what I'm doing in trial and the people behind me don't matter, whether it's one or a million.
Right. It's true. You
Uh,
got to do the job.
But at conferences, we see a lot of the same
Mhm.
faces. So it's usually a friendly audience.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going in expecting to get booed. That
No,
might feel
that's right.
different.
Now, if I was speaking, obviously a lot more nervous
Right.
if I was up there like you or Pat. But
It does get
just
nerve-wracking.
attending, no. Yeah.
I like being prepared. I think that helps.
Yeah.
Like for lobby day, one thing I've learned is just Googling
Mhm.
the representatives, even like literally their picture. Because I remember my first year at NAA, I didn't know who I was meeting with and who they were.
Right.
And like I passed one of them in the hallway and didn't have any idea. And this year, like our very first guy was walking around the hallway talking to other people. And I was able to get with my group and be like, that's who we're meeting with.
Mhm.
It's not just some rando who's here to do lobbying.
Sure.
So even just little stuff.
I did that too. I had
Mhm.
pictures on my
Right.
phone. Yeah,
Yeah, reading their backgrounds and what their interests are.
Is there
What-
anything
what
now that you've done it?
district and-
Sorry. Is there anything now that you've both done it? What would you maybe steer away from or not worry about or be less interested in if it was exactly the same next year? So if you go in, it's the same. What would you just kind of keep moving on?
That's a good question. I think this is nobody's fault, but for the actual lobbying, it's a little bit easier when we have specific bills.
Correct. It is.
This year was more of general topics, and the topics were easy to talk about.
Mhm.
But it's a little bit easier to be like, this is the thing, here are the words.
Mhm.
Because for a lot of the conversations, the people would hear the topic and everyone would generally agree they're like fraud is a bad topic.
Mhm.
But then some people would ask about like,
Which
is it going to
bill?
be, is it going to be overbearing? Is it going to be, not good enough? What bill are you talking? And then we're
Mhm.
just sort of like, there's not one, again, that's not A and C's problem,
Right.
but it does make it a little bit easier for the actual lobbying, I think.
I'm
If
going
I
to go back
could
to
change that.
I want to go back to lobbying for a minute because I've got an additional question on that. Is there anything that you steer away from?
Not so much steer away from. Just probably to even read up further on the whatever was going on for lobby day too. I mean, I did read everything before that, the morning, but more prepared. I like to as prepared as possible.
Mhm.
I actually love that you two have talked so much about lobbying because you can lobby at the local level. You can get involved, right, at the GCA level, at the Charlotte level, you can lobby. You can lobby at the state level, and you can go to advocate in March of every year in DC for the NAA. And one of you brought it up, and it is a thing because I've talked to people about it, and I felt it a few years back, which is if you've never done it, it feels overwhelming. It feels like it's a capital and there are professionals in there and they know things that you don't know, but they do work for us and they do want to hear what we have to say to them. And they're probably just as awkwardly set to engage as we are. I mean, they do that for a living, but they don't know any more than we know about one-on-one engagement and they're open for it. It's not that intimidating once you get into the room. They're regular people. You may see them on posters or on TV, depending on what level we're talking about, but they're ready to serve.
Did you say you had interned on the Hill in DC?
I did.
Yeah, so you might have had an extra insight into that because I'd never done any of that stuff.
Yeah, but it was really cool to do that. But so that the environment felt comfortable. But I mean, I walked up to Keith and was like, are you sure I'm happy to do this, but are you sure you want me to do this? Am I qualified to do this? And I think my colleague felt the same. And then afterwards we're like, oh, we can do this.
Yes.
Because you're talking about stuff that pertains to our industry.
Correct.
So we have the inside knowledge of our industry. And I think once you realize that, it makes you realize, okay, I can do this. So that's what I would encourage anybody that wants to go to just go. You have a group of people. You're not there by yourself. So you can talk as little or as much as you want to. So I would definitely encourage people to get involved.
I mean, there's
even so like thinking about that. So early on with NAA, I joined a team and I don't know that I talked at all. And then the next year I felt good, felt confident, and Keith had me leading a team. I think if you know yourself and don't know what your strengths are, you could voice that. Like Keith Kelly for GCA organized our teams. You could say, I need to be on a team with someone who can talk well. I can chime in and be a support.
Be the note taker, you know.
Or the note taker, because I hate taking notes. But if you were the one that's going to walk in and start the conversation, you know, that might be easier as a team lead. And then someone else says all the intelligent things and you just sit back and take the credit. Well, we didn't necessarily plan this in advance, but Erin Piper was on my team and she had looked up some of their properties, tax implications in a couple of different jurisdictions. And one of our meetings, she had properties. So she had on the ground numbers for the representative to say, here is what this is doing. And even that was very impactful.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
Like I could never say something like that because that's not my industry.
Right.
I don't have those numbers.
Right.
So, I mean, everyone on our team had individual useful knowledge from just like you said, their experience in the industry. This is what they do.
That's fantastic. All right. So now that we've had this conversation and brought it back to the forefront of your mind, rapid fire, is there two things, Mary, that stick out in your mind about conference? When you just think about AANC Conference 2 weeks ago, what two things come up in your brain real fast?
It sounds basic, but the people and I think the energy.
Yeah.
For
I
me.
love that.
I had a little bit longer to think.
I know.
So I did this year, I volunteered to be a social media ambassador and early on realized that those people doing that were like me and wanted to be cheerleaders on the internet, on LinkedIn and so forth. So just the connections that I made, even doing that, because we all collaborated to make sure we knew who each other were so we could support each other. And just the connections doing that alone was more than I've gotten in any other conference, I think.
Wow.
And then I was going to say the energy also, but I feel like a copycat.
Percentage that you will attend 2027's AANC conference?
I'm going to throw this out there. Amanda Kitts, if you listen to this, I would say 100%. So
100%. I think the name drop confirms that she'll pay. Don't you think? Amanda will do it.
Yeah. I mean, I've already asked to speak again if my firm will send me. Well,
that's good.
Yeah. So we're already planning to do another legal update session.
You'll be different. You'll be different next year.
You'll be the partner.
You'll be partner, Pat Finn, right?
I know. I like that.
Hopefully my knowledge is better also.
You ready?
Okay, we're ready.
I'm going to give you 3 categories. Perk or pass, spill the beans, or the final pour. And I'll let Pat go first. Which one of those 3 sounds spiciest to you?
Say them again.
Perk or pass, spill the beans, the final pour.
Perk or pass?
Perk or pass. You ready? You get a company jet to conferences, but you have to network the entire flight.
Perk for sure. That's
Perk for sure. You do it.
Yeah.
Get on the plane, network, have a big time. Might get coffee, might get snacks. Okay. Perk or pass, spill the beans, or the final pour.
Final pour.
You ready? What is a bad habit you refuse to give up because it works for you?
Being a night owl.
Oh, you're a night owl.
Yep. Every leadership book you read, people are always getting up in the morning, getting a stuff done. And no matter what I do, my brain works better at night when it's quiet.
When the people, whoever the people are, when they're asleep.
Oh, later too.
I still stay up late. And, everybody will pick on you that are early birds, right? They're early birds. They're like, we're getting stuff done. No. You're actually staying up late to get it done before they even early up to get it done. You're already 12 hours ahead of them. That's the argument. They think you're 12 hours behind, but you're still.
Go with that, Bill.
You're ahead of them.
Just ahead, yeah.
You're not behind at night trying to get it done before you sleep.
Ahead.
You're ahead.
Yep.
You do some catch up, but you also do a little bit for the next day.
I do.
Right?
Yeah.
You can go to sleep knowing you've already beat the people.
Absolutely.
And there's no voices in your way getting stuff. Well, it's Morning Perks. We've got to check. Are you You a coffee drinker?
Oh yeah, I had an espresso shot like an hour ago and was trying to debate whether I needed another one immediately before this.
Now I love it. I would do it all day if I could, but I'll never sleep.
I stop at 4 shots of espresso no later than 5 p.m. So around 4 in the afternoon, most days, I get 4 shots.
Okay. What's your go-to drink?
I'm a little addicted to Starbucks. I have iced coffee in the morning, shots of espresso with cream, and a little bit of sugar in the afternoon. Gotta have sugar.
I've been doing a double espresso over ice with extra ice
Same.
and no
Right?
cream or sugar.
Oh,
Just
I put
black?
almond milk in it and cold foam.
That
sounds good.
you got to get the stuff.
Gotta get the stuff.
You're just going straight
So I
espresso.
do every morning also, just except for it's hot.
Oh.
But,
He likes the strong.
No.
Uh,
Only in Italy. Italy, I could probably do it.
Mary Hood, maybe that's
Does
what it
sound
takes
good.
to be partner. We need to go straight
Maybe.
espresso.
Straight
Oh.
espresso.
Right?
Straight espresso.
I'll do it. I'll do it. And everybody that thinks that they know me and that I always have sugar and cream in it, when I go black and just, put it on ice, they'll be like, what are you doing? Make it partner.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Yep.
All right. Mary Hood,
Yes.
Pat Finn, both fantastic volunteer representatives of the GCAA. Thank you very much for being on Morning Perks.
Sure.
Thank you.
This is fun.
Before we go, I have a treat for you. Would you like to get something that a lot of people never got that were on Morning Perks that will have to work to get, but you're going to get it because it's a new thing? It's a new thing. You can get a special thing. Would you like a special thing?
We're game.
Yeah.
I'm
for sure.
talking for
If-
both of
no,
us. We're
that's-
game.
I agree.
If I gave you your own bean, I took it off for the purposes of wearing my mic, but I wear a bean that you can wear on your lapel. Would you wear it?
Had the coffee bean
It's-
story.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right? Look at Pat.
Oh yeah, I'd wear it right now. I
Right.
got a board meeting after this and another board meeting after that.
That is perfect. You have your filter covered bean, sir.
Okay. I was wondering what these
Madam?
were.
I know, me too.
You have your filter covered. Don't you like the little
Alright.
filter?
Oh.
Right?
I like
And
it.
we can put them on once we get the mics off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't want to stab myself on
No, you don't
camera.
want to stab
Right?
yourself. We have a board meeting. You can wear yours to the board meeting
Yeah.
and create some jealousy, right?
will.
You can wear yours to the office tomorrow.
That's right.
All right.
Every outfit.
Both of you, on behalf of Morning Perks Podcast, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks, Bill.
Sure. This is fun.
Absolutely.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Morning Perks Podcast. Our podcast airs the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month at 7 a.m. Keep up with all things GCAA by following our Facebook and Instagram pages. Download the GCAA app in your app store to maximize your membership experience. There you can easily learn about and register for upcoming events, sponsorships, and educational opportunities. Thank you for listening to Morning Perks and have a fantastic day.